Hey guys, it's Mathel here once again, and today I've got a video all about the Trapper, Vortex Trapper that I've been playing for the past few days. Some gameplay, some boss kills, and some Guardian and Shaper attempts and kills. This starting off here is just a bit of the gameplay, the action, and a couple of the boss kills. So all in all, it's actually been rather smooth to play. It might be a bit slower, or at least it looks a bit slower from the outside looking in, but I assure you, while I was playing it, I didn't really feel particularly slow. Maybe at times movement speed or having to dodge certain things and regen ES felt a bit slow, but in general, the trapping playstyle with good enough trap cooldown recovery actually feels just fine. It might not be one of the fastest builds out there, but it is highly playable, at least to me, these days, whereas I used to think it was going to be just far too slow and not good enough for my tastes, which generally are rather fast-paced. So you can see that the gameplay isn't too bad at all. You're running around throwing a few traps, usually a trap per pack, you know, that it'll explode and kill everything. And then it's also really strong against bosses, at least it can be, depending on the boss you're fighting, if it's going to dodge a lot, or if they're ignitable or not as well. So something that is rather important is bosses that can be ignited. The ones that can't, with this type of build, just are gonna survive forever, and it's quite annoying. But bosses and guardians that can be ignited, so Minotaur, Chimera, and Hydra all die rather quick when you can set up your damage and get a nice good burn and ignite going. So the build is still very much crit based, and it is converting cold into fire so that our initial crits or initial hits and crits burn the target for immense amounts of damage. And when I really want to go into single target mode, as you can see here, I take out Cluster Trap, replace it with added code, and then put in Conk Effect over increased area, and I just fire off single traps that do huge amounts of damage. Now, at this stage, I'm still running level 19 gems, and there are certain other upgrades I could make, and I also fucked up this Minotaur fight quite badly. It was my first attempt at him, and I'm still getting used to the whole trap lifestyle. But that said, it still is very smooth, and, well, except for that again. But yeah, it can be very smooth is what I meant to say. The only real issue is playing as a fully ES-based CI character. Gets you into a bit of trouble sometimes because I don't have any leech and my regen's not great because I am not using bows and a soul strike quiver, nor do I have essence surge on the tree. So essence surge is probably something you really want to get if you do play this and don't feel good about your ES regen. Otherwise, there's not much else you can do. You can spec into life, maybe that'll help, but planning out a life-based tree, I just could not feel like I could get enough damage as well as enough life on the right-hand side of the tree, right top-hand side of the tree, near Shadow and Witch, and as well as that get the damage and the utility from the traps that I desired. But I'm sure it's possible, and I'm sure there's people out there that have done it. So Chimera here is another example of something that can be ignited, and when we do get a really nice crit on him, he basically goes through his entire 25% phase really smoothly, really easily. Now I've sped up the next bit because the add phase, not terribly impactful or important. Just swap in cluster traps and run around kiting onto your vortex circles. So the vortex circles are actually very nice because they do chill anything standing in it, so they're a pretty damn defensive buff for the build. Run around, kite things through them, and it's great. Then when you want to get into business, go back into the single target mode. That is just throwing a single trap with Conk Effect and added cold, average of 40k I believe, just standing around in town, and there, we got a really nice burn on him and he went pretty much 25% immediately. This fight, however, is a bit of a problem for my ES-based character without really good leech when he has bad mods. So this was my first attempt, and he didn't have too bad mods. I think he just had like extra damage, and that's just fine. When he's really fast, for example, or when you have 60% less regen on the map, something like that, Chimera becomes a real fucking problem, and he's one of the worst guardians you can face. I don't actually have the worst Guardian you can face clipped here. It's the Phoenix, and that's just simply because he's Ignite immune, and there's really nothing to show there. It's me kiting him around for like 15 minutes, throwing down traps, and only killing him with initial trap damage. Ignite immune's just a bit of a problem when you're built entirely around Ignite, and it's not much fun to watch. But I did kill him. I think I died once, so it's still not too much of an issue. It's just horrendously boring and not really worth showing, because the Phoenix fight is very straightforward. So, like I said, Chimera can be done pretty easily with the Ignite-based sort of trap character here, but if you have nasty map mods, then you probably want to reconsider doing it with this guy, at least with the kind of ES and management I have. So lastly, out of the Guardians, I do have here to show the Hydra. It's probably my easiest Hydra kills across any characters so far. She's pretty susceptible to Ignite, certainly not immune, and all I gotta do is just dodge some balls and a few attacks from her every now and again, land 1 or 2 good Ignites, and she's going to die. So if I'm going to keep this character geared, and I might, it will probably be my Hydra killer in the future, just to pick up fragments for other Shaper runs or other characters, if I have a character that can't do Hydra for whatever reason. That was certainly one of the most enjoyable aspects of the trap and the Ignite, killing Hydra, certainly. Lastly, I'll leave you with the Shaper run. This was my first Shaper attempt, and I'll start off with just a few of the bosses. Hope you guys enjoy the video. I may have another conclusions video about traps, or just how to set up this character in the future. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Screen tearing or lagging or something right now. Very strangely. Lol. Try to die enough that I'll get to try them both out. Alright, gotta save all my flasks on the Dominus phase. No shit! These guys drop maps? I never knew that. I've killed them so many times and they haven't dropped anything. I just got a fucking free tier 16 out of it. Sexy. That was 3 of the 4 bosses just before the Shaper. I left out Mervale because she was pretty boring and uneventful. And I also left out the first phase of Shaper because I was trying out cluster traps with Conk initially, and it was just kind of slow, and I wanted to swap into the single target like you see right here with Conk effect and just a single trap. And that's what I do from now on for the rest of the phase. First phase, nothing eventful happened. I was just fucking around with cluster traps, and it wasn't worth it. Okay, so cluster over cold as soon as we have to. How did my power charges just refresh themselves like 4 times? That's not bad, man. That was okay. Okay, doesn't really matter if Sana dies here or not, but we'll see how it goes just with this. I can't throw enough traps, I don't think, to reliably do that. Yeah, not bad. The chill is so fucking nice. I thought he was done. I thought he was pushing over, not this shit again. just gonna let that pop, don't give a fuck. Hopefully there's no more phase. Okay, there might be another phase. God damn it, man, that was stupid. I thought he was done. What I was trying to say there is his slam. I thought I'd get it away from that in time, but he took a really long time to slam. He sometimes does. It just feels weird. Maybe the next phase already, nerd. Okay. Quite good. Yeah, I can definitely play that slam better than I have been. I'm always just like panicking and charging and running as much as humanly possible. I could actually wait for him to do his slam sort of thing, and then start my charge. Dude. Ah, she's fucking dead, isn't she? Doesn't really matter, huh? Oh wow, I just popped a really bad bubble. Really? He's doing his phase again right now? That's fucked up, man. He just did a phase and then spawned Zana. I mean, portals. Now he's doing another phase. Dude does not fuck around. Bad. Could have been a deathless run. Could have been very solidly deathless. Always gloves, am I right?